Well, I was about to do a clap one, but that'll work.
That'll work. I was going to say, I thought I had my mask on then, it was my chin.
Get lost.
Oh, it's my chin.
Okay, camera rolling, camera's rolling, action.
Can't believe we've come into another lockdown. And I'm really fearful for people who live alone, or people who've got mental health problems, or people who are locked in with someone suffering domestic violence. And there was a fabulous thing on Facebook where this woman and her partner's in the background, and she made this gesture with her hands to get someone to phone the police.
What was this? What was it?
It was a message on Facebook for people who were stuck in a situation where there was domestic violence. And there was one once, a couple of weeks ago, where a young girl had phoned up for a pizza. And she wasn't really phoning for the pizza. She was phoning for the police.
Oh, okay.
And they went, "Can you not talk?" And she went, "Not really. Have you got this kind of pizza or that kind of pizza?" And she says, "Do you deliver?" And she gave her address, but she was talking to the police.
Oh, okay.
So it must be horrendous to be stuck, especially now with the second lockdown, if you were with a domestic violence situation.
An abuser of any form, you know?
I mean, it's bad enough being hemmed in at best of times if you haven't got a balcony or you live in a small flat, or but it must be like prison torture.
Yeah.
You know, you can't go out, you can't run out, or if you do, what?
Well, like for people who are in that situation, I mean, what could they do? I mean, call out, as you just said. Then is like, you know, if anyone who's caught in any sort of you know, captive, you know, the best thing they can do is call out, cry out for help. Yeah. You know,
it's the situation that you're in as well. When you're with someone, because I mean, my first husband used to knock me from one end of Liverpool to the other, and then it's the not knowing. They're asking you the question and you don't know how to answer the question, because whatever you say is wrong, and it's that fear of waiting, that fear of waiting to be it. Have I answered the right question? You know, standing to attention, and it was demeaning, and you just. The hardest thing I ever was the word sorry, because I was getting battered, and I'm saying I'm sorry to him.
And you're the one.
And I don't even know what I was sorry for. And I just curl up like an hedgehog and think, "Oh, just get it over with." But that's the scary part. But nowadays, you know, in domestic violence, they're either just it's women, or they're either on drugs or they're on drink, and you think they don't know what they're doing at best of times. So how do they know they're going to survive this?
And the thing is, you know, when we hear these cases of domestic violence, we always hear, you know, and we feel the pain, obviously, of the victim. But like one thing we've never really spoke about is the you know, the accuser, the guy or the woman or whoever who's putting this pain. What's going on in their mind? Why are they the way they are? What makes them click?
That's a fabulous question to ask, because I remember my husband saying to me, "It was good enough for my mother, so it was good enough for you."
So something they've seen.
And they think that's normal to do that. I mean, I don't know. I can't answer for them.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the fear of. And I remember someone saying to me, "If a man hit me, I'd kill." But if you're never been in that situation, you wouldn't know what you'd do, because it's a strategy they do. They break down your confidence, they break down your self-esteem, they tell you how thick and stupid you are, they tell you it's your fault you're getting hiding. So I couldn't think, because my brain, I used to think he could read my mind. And I'd be like, you just do all the time, not walking on eggshells. Yeah. But to be in a situation now with this lockdown, that must be horrendous.
I mean, I feel sorry for anyone who's dealing with any form of mental health, because I think in both candidates of it all, it's mental health, and I think a lot of people You know, because when it comes down to mental health, people don't understand because it's not a physical thing. You know?
That's true, because if you see someone on crutches or their arms in a sling, you'll open the door for them, or can I help you up the stairs? But when it's something in that they can't see, they don't want to know. And it's like, just pull yourself together, get a grip.
Yeah, because as soon as people hear the word depression, you know, it's straight away, it's, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
You know, put yourself together. I mean, even myself, I'm someone who's suffered, and I don't like to use the word depression or mental health. I like to say I'm wired different.
Yeah.
You know, and it's very hard for me to, you know, be in contact with get close to people, because, you know, people don't understand sometimes, like, you know, I think it come over me, like, where I just feel really, really low, but I don't know what it is. And as I said, I remember seeing something, a post that you put out, talking, and it really resonated into my soul when I said it, when you were saying, I don't know how, like, it just comes upon you.
It's like a fog.
Yeah.
Just not fog, brain fog. It's just like a heavy blanket that just goes right over you. And I get up in the morning, I'm like that, and then all of a sudden I get this, it's like
dark cloud, just
thing, makes me feel sad.
Yeah.
I walk around permanently sad inside, even though I'm laughing, and I go to myself, why am I feeling sad?
Does it make you feel sad, the fact that you're sad? Like does it frustrate you? Because I know it frustrates me. I'm like, because I can't figure it out.
Yeah.
I feel like, why am I? There's nothing wrong. It's nothing's actually happened. But what I've came to think, I'm not 100% on this, is when I see everyday people, if it's a bill, they broke up with a partner, you know, so forth and so forth, they can attach the sadness to something.
Yeah.
And then if you can attach it to what it is, you can speak about it. I've just broke up with someone, a bill just came through, and someone says, well, this is A, B, C, D, how you fix it. But if you don't know
what, there's no bill, there's no breakup, it's just you.
It's just
with this, why am I feeling sad? I don't want to feel sad. And the more you try and analyse it, the sadder you feel.
Yeah.
And then you get yourself mad because you're sad and you don't know why you're sad. And you're like, wow,
I've got this counsellor, and not a counsellor, it's a doctor that I see from time to time. And it's something that he said to me what really touched me, my soul, was, say for instance, your child comes to you and says, you know, Mum, I feel down, I'm not well, or, you console them, you know, what's wrong, speak to me. But when it comes to yourself, and when yourself feels down, you're like, oh, just come on, let's just fight on. You don't really give yourself a time for a hug, like, what's wrong, P? What's the matter? You know, don't work today. You know, maybe speak to someone. You don't, you're like, oh, just crack on, let's come on, it'll be all right, come on. And you don't console yourself as that child, that inner child within.
Because that comes to the fact that we spend all our lives trying to please someone, trying to make someone happy. And the only person we forget about is ourselves. We forget what makes us happy, what makes us laugh. And because we've lost touch with that person we were, it's hard to find. It's like, you know, you're looking in the dark, where are you? But that's the truth, that because we spend all our lives trying to make our husband happy, our mothers, our fathers, our brothers, our sisters, our children, and then we forget all about ourselves. And then all of a sudden, you know, your husband might have gone, your kids have grown up, fled the nest, and then you're there, and you think, well, what have I got here?
Yeah.
Is it empty nest syndrome? Is it, you know, and then you've spent all your life pleasing all them.
If any of my kids came to me and said, you know, I feel down, I feel a little bit sad, I'm like, well, what's wrong? Speak to me, come here, give me a hug, and give you all the best advice. But when it comes down to yourself, there's no like, you know, you're sometimes your own worst enemy. Like, shut up, come on, it's nothing wrong with you. But
there's a stigma of embarrassment as well. Because
I'm stronger than this. Why am I? Come on, I'm better than this.
Yeah, there's a slight bit of embarrassment because people go, oh, Crissy, you know, you're on the telly, you must be worth a fortune. I haven't got a pot to piss in, but that's beside the point. And I'm more happier not having anything. than because you always have this. I've grew up with a family that we had nothing, and then when I got something, I always shared what I had, and then I always felt guilty for having some money. But now, you know, because in this business it's feast and famine. You might work for 3 or 4 months, and no one realises that you haven't worked for 6 to 8 months, and they're like, but you've still got to survive. Them 3 months have got to become 12 months worth of money. And then you got your tax and your commission, and so people think, gosh, you must be rolling it. You think, get a grip. Look at my bank statement.
but the beauty of like even myself, and obviously you've done some successful things from the films. I mean, like, you know, I'll speak further on about Lady Bird and some of the projects that you've done. But myself, like all my life, Crissy, I literally thought I was done. I wasn't good in school. You know, I didn't know what job I was going to do. I didn't know, you know, what my calling was until I remember read this quote, and it said that it was 2 important parts of a person's life was when you were born and when you realise what you're born to do. Me being a filmmaker now, once I picked up a camera and I started using, because as I said previously, you know, I'm not one to have too many friends or, you know, speak my problems to no one. So I was always in my own mind, you know, and now with me writing stories and writing things, I'm releasing that creativity.
That's amazing.
What's taken so much of a pressure off myself and who I am and what I was supposed to be doing in this world is I found what I was supposed to be doing is releasing this creativity, and that helps me a hell of a lot. Like with yourself, with your acting, and you know, as I said, you know, I watched, you know, Lady Bird, Crissy. I tell you, I was almost in flipping tears. It was like
that was the best therapy I ever had in my life.
Yeah.
Honestly, I got rid of all the ghosts and things like that. I mean, different for me, when I was little, I just went along with the flow of it, didn't know what I was going to do. I loved going to the pictures and watching the cowboys and Indians, and I never dreamed that one day I'd be making films. I mean, I've never even been in a nativity play. You know, but it's always like, when you get, everything was for a reason. And now I realise later on in life that these choices that I didn't know at the time were choices were for reasons. And I'm a great believer in that. You know, if I want to do a really powerful, sad, emotional thing, all these memories that I spent years of self-harming and torturing me, now I use them to an advantage, because now I can pick them out and say, I need you here for this part. And now I've done this part, now I can put you back. And that's what, so instead of them horrible memories now that used to torture the life out of me, now I use them to my advantage.
You've turned a negative into a positive in some sort of way. I remember one time, I think we were speaking, this was a while back, and I remember you telling me when you was going through an abusive relationship, and before he got back, you used to put the TV on and you used to watch all these comedies and watch things, and you said that you used to visualise yourself
being that person.
And eventually, you know, once you overcome your adversity with whatever you went through with this relationship, you created Crissy. And like and let's speak about Crissy. Let's speak about this.
If I didn't have Crissy Rock in my life, I don't know who or what I would have become. I made, well, did I make her or did she make me? I had no self-esteem, no self-confidence. I wasn't one for confrontation, and was always like, am I saying the right thing? Am I saying the wrong thing? And then all of a sudden, this Crissy Rock started to say, you know, I'll have a laugh here and do this and do that. And people used to say, oh, Crissy, you're dead funny. Why don't you be a comic? Why don't you go on the stage? And I go, the London stage. But that helped me because I couldn't read. I used to say to people, what number's that bus there? I haven't got my glasses on. But I didn't know what number it was. I didn't know where it was going. I just knew it was a bus. And that, I mean, if it was no frills now, I'd be knackered to be eating dog food. I don't know what they'd be eating. But I always used my memory to remember things.
Okay.
Instead, because I couldn't learn it on paper.
Okay.
So I'd make a mental notes on what that was, now this was. But I didn't look at myself as depressed. I just didn't know what was wrong. I knew 100% that I was abused and my brother was abused, and we dealt with that the best way we could. But when he was dead and gone, instead of, I went through a horrendous time where I was so angry with him that I fucking dare you just die and leave us to make sense of what you've done to us. And instead of letting it go, I carried it round with me.
Yeah.
It was inside.
Just
and
burning
it was,
away at your soul.
I was hating myself, but thinking it was him hating me, but it wasn't. It was the memories, the ghosts.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, I need to get a grip here.
Yeah.
He's gone, he can't hurt us anymore. And I sat down one day and I thought, right, you know, you are not living in my soul rent-free. I'm chucking it out because you're the one making me do this, but you're not even here, you've been dead years. And I thought to myself, it's only me hating me. And it was the memories. So now I realise that them memories I can't change. I can't, you know, they're there, they're in the past. But and I used to say I had this dream that all these people that's supposed to love me and protect me all had the back to me.
Okay.
I was shouting for them, but nothing was coming out my mouth. And I felt I was being pulled back away from them.
Yeah.
So really, I thought to myself, that must be me pulling them back.
Yeah.
And that must be me not shouting. Because
not speaking up.
I need to speak up. I need to say to myself, get out.
Yeah.
You're not there. It's only me doing the damage. And that's where the sadness comes in, where I don't know where the sadness comes from.
See, with the films that you've done, which you feel was like one of the hardest scenes, or maybe the hardest film that you've had to really conjure up, and has had some psychological effect on you having to bring it up, or have you just?
It was when she was getting beat up in the film, and seeing the kids, you know, looking, that fear of, no, you make mistake, trying to calm the situation without, you know, and then he's in your face. And I remember when I was getting, you know, and I was standing against the wall, and every time he'd come at me, I was banging my head on the wall, and in the end I was thinking to myself, just do it and get it over with. It was that fear. And where could I go? And then I thought, if I run, he's going to grab us. And in the end, I ended up cutting my hair that short that he couldn't pull my hair anymore.
Okay, wow.
So, but it was, people say, well, why did you say why? Imagine you're afraid of the dark, and we're all sitting here now, and it's perfectly light. And then all of a sudden we have a little doze, and we wake up and it's pitch black. But in that pitch blackness, there's a little slither of light. And you know, all you've got to do is get up and open the door, and the room will be... But that fear that contains you, you just can't move. So it's not that you're staying there, and people say, well, you must like getting this. No, hang on, do you know how they've controlled your brain? Now they're telling you, you can't leave. You know, what are you? You're not, you piece of shit. And you know, where are you going to go? I'll go and I'll find you. I'm going to find you. I'm going to do... And you believe them.
You think it's no point. There's nowhere I can go. I'm here. This is it.
You know, you got a black hat. I walked into the door and come up quick and bang my head on the worktop. And you have a million stories.
That was in Lady Bird as well, when the social worker came round and you had a little cut, and you're saying it was the door, it was the cupboard that hit yourself in the head. You know, when some people say that it's in your DNA, like not your DNA, but it's hereditary. Because I know like a few years ago that like my dad actually, he cut his own wrist and killed himself. My granddad was beat to death by police in his country in South America because they thought he was going crazy. So do you think, I don't know if it's coincidence, or do you think that mental health can be passed down through generations?
I think there could be a genetic gene related to it. You know, I think it's like, maybe so. I'd hate to think that.
Yeah.
But there could be a genetic gene somewhere running through families, but you see, sometimes things follow suit.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? If you sat in a room full of people who stammered, before long you'd find yourself stammering. And then you get to a stage in your life where, especially in this day and age, everyone wants a quick fix.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Everyone
medication
wants
stuff and
no. It's I mean, it's like when we left school. When we went to school, when we left school, there was promises of jobs and they were underpaid, and you lived with your parents and things like that, and you paid your way. But today's society, it's sad because everyone wants to be a wag or a footballer or a millionaire, and it's
the boss
on the television.
Yeah.
If you're not got lips like this and you're not like that, you don't fit in.
Yeah.
But if they look, all these people are like, you know, and
G-force.
you think to yourself, so these young ones now, especially the younger generation, they're thinking, well, I've got to look like that. So I've got to do this and I've got to do that. Because if I don't, I'm not fitting in.
Yeah. Yeah.
But years ago, we were all scruffs.
Yeah.
Nobody had nothing.
Yeah.
You know, nobody knew you were scruffy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we were all the same.
Yeah. Everyone was in the same boat.
But it's peer pressure.
Yeah.
And maybe that peer pressure is the root of depression.
Do you think so? Depression, do you think it's getting worse? Because I know even my kids, like not like they're depressed or anything, but I've heard them speak about anxiety, depression. I'm thinking, he's a little kid. Like, I didn't know anything about
it's pressure in
like
school as well. You know, and when a kid's in a junior school, they're all right, and then they leave at 11 to go to a big one. And them 11-year-olds, it must be so horrendous for them to go from being 11, you know, into a big school where there's 15, 16, 17-year-olds. Are they going to be bullied? Are they going to be picked on?
Plus, they're going to be hearing a lot of stuff. What these older kids are going to be speaking about: smoking, sex, drugs. You know, so now they're just being swarmed of all this adult material.
Are they going to be in a clique, or are they going to be one of the geeks? Or, you know, so that must be so frightening for them. It must be horrendous for them.
Social pressure.
But the thing is, I've done this. This young kid said to me, well, young kid, she's 15. She said, I get so much pressure, not just in school, at home, because a mum and a dad, you better get an A, you better get this, you better get that. And I said to her, you do the best that you can. And as long as you know that's the best that you've done, don't worry about it. Yeah, but... And I said something I shouldn't have said, really. I said, you know, your mum and dad are only jealous because they don't want you to be thick like they were.
No, but so, you might have a little bit of a bloody point there, you know?
Yeah, so as long... But the thing is, I remember when my granddaughter went for her GCSEs and she was devastated.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure on them.
And I said, look, you're young enough, you can do them again.
Yeah.
You know, don't let it bother you. Step back, think what you've done wrong, think is it the right thing that you want to do to resit it. But it's people who are stuck in the doldrums I feel sorry for. You know, I'm in this flat, I'm one parent family, I've got a load of kids, I'm living from hand to mouth. You know, they're telling me to eat healthy and I can't afford to eat healthy, so you have to eat from this, that and the other. And it's just a cycle. And then it's all right when the kids are in. I hated it when my kids learned to read. Because I could stick any pair of trainers on them. Now they're going, I'm not wearing that.
Now they know what the hell they are. But they nicks. Do you remember Nicks years ago? Bloody Nicks. Like, I'm not wearing
that.
Netto? Yeah.
Oh, I'm not taking the Netto back to school.
Yeah.
I said, look, it looks like Benetton folded up. You know? And when they learned to read, you were devastated because you get them these cheap what you could afford.
Yeah.
And then
well, that's social
obviously-
pressure again.
Yeah.
That's social pressure. Because I remember when I went to my dad's country in South America, and this is something I'll never forget. I always remember seeing this family. It was, you know, the mum and the dad, and they had about 3 kids, and like they lived in a hut. It was because it's a third world country. They lived in a hut, just shorts on. They had nothing, right?
Yeah.
But one thing I always remembered, they were happy.
Yeah.
They were flipping happy.
They're all smiling.
They were all smiling. Everyone was happy because he had that family unit and he had that love for each other, you know. And I feel like, as you said, with, you know, the pressure of you've got to have the cool trainees on, you've got to have the latest thing, the latest. Oh, you got a crap phone. Oh, you look at your shoes. Look at you tramp. So it's always just trying to compete. Got to get the bigger bow tie. I've got to get the bigger college. I've got to get this. I've got to get A, B, C, and D. And it's the pressure that people are under.
That's what I feel sorry for the kids. And that's what I was saying about the word love. The word love is thrown around too willy-nilly for me. It's like, oh, I love you. Oh, really? Well, you know, I love that plant. You know, I love that coffee table. I love chips. It's a way. I don't want the word anymore. I want the feeling. I want to feel loved.
Don't say it, show me.
You know, talk's cheap.
And I think love is like, for me, my vision of love is like, okay, when the sheesh hits the fan, and I'm at my lowest point, you know, because that's what I loved about Lady Bird. You know what touched me, what brought tears to my eyes, what really got me in Lady Bird is when you were screaming at Jorge, and you were screaming, but he's still seen the goodness. He's seen the goodness in you. You know, even like most people, you could be screaming, look at you screaming, you know what I mean? And that's it, and just fight back, fight with fire. But you was going, but he could see the pain that Maggie, the character you're playing, was going through, and seeing the goodness. And now to me, that's love. You know, you could see through all the negativity and see the true you, the pain that was that the character you're portraying was going through.
See, sometimes, I mean, everyone has rows, even me and my husband have rows, and if he does, I just really, and I walk away, and he hates it. He hates that I walk away, and I say, I'm not going to stand here and have a confrontation with you. I said, because in my eyes, that's fire and that's petrol. Now, I can either put that petrol on the fire and make it go bigger, or I can move the petrol away. So if I'm the petrol and you're the fire, I'm moving the petrol.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at
it.
Right,
and I'll come back and I'll say, right, are you okay? I'm sorry if I, you know, or... But the thing is, it's got to be retained. If it's not retained, it's like... But I don't want confrontation in my life. You know, all right, you might say, oh, shut up. And then... But then you take... But not nasty, do you know what I mean? But that's how I look at it. You can stand there and toe-to-toe. But if you just like having your opinion... And then that's it. Just listen and then wait and then say, well, how can I help you? How can we resolve this? Because there's no I in we.
Amen.
And when there's two brains think better than one anyway. And it's always you can get through this. You know what, let's see. Because my solution might be rubbish to your solution. But if your solution and my solution don't work, let's find a solution that will work. And that's what I think. And I hate the way everyone's labelled now. If a kid's bouncing off the wall, oh, ADHD.
Too many.
And my dad wouldn't have let us have ADHD.
No.
He took that belt and fucking leathered it out. I mean, you
can't do that nowadays,
now.
like, you know.
Can't get your kids now, but I mean, you know, but we were in ADHD. We were just little mad kids, you know. Too many sugar butties.
Too many sugar butties.
If you weren't bouncing off the wall, you were in the worm hospital. But the thing is, everyone's quick to label now.
So labelling. So everyone likes to label people nowadays, Crissy. So
I know that's sad. And what also worries me is there is genuine mental health problems. There is like schizophrenia that can only be medicated. There's like personality disorder. I mean, I'm not saying, but don't put if you're feeling down in that bucket. You know, you'd have good. It's like you go to work, you'd have a good day. You can come home and say, I've had a laugh in work today. And then you come home and say, what a shitty day I've had in there, fucking... I'm not going in tomorrow. You know what I mean? But don't label that as depression.
Yeah.
I don't label my sadness as depression.
Okay.
You know, me, the wall's cracked.
Mm-hmm.
If a wallpaper over it, which is medication, the wall's still cracked.
Peel that wallpaper off. It's still a problem.
It's going to fall off. But so I don't want to be medicated because I know why I have these mad thoughts in my head and why things have happened in my life, and I understand that now. I didn't at the time. I was angry and things like that. But today, you go to the doctor and you go, take that.
Yeah.
ADHD. Oh, you'll be hyper ADHD.
There you go.
Oh, borderline personality. Oh, this. And then all of a sudden, you're on these tablets. And then...
Have you ever took any of them, Crissy? Because I did one time. They gave me this medication once, and I was always strongly against it, but a few family members, you take your medication, take it. And I took, I think, twice, and I was like, I thought, what the flipping hell is going on here?
It's terrible, and it messes you with your metabolism up, so you put weight on, and you hate yourself even more. And then all of a sudden you go, oh, they don't do them brand no more, try these.
The new ones, we've got the new power ones.
And then your whole body's then has got to adapt.
Now you're feeling all bloody lethargic. And
then half the time, the poor buggers can't cope without the tablets.
Yeah, now
but
they're
then
addicted
they're young,
to it.
so they're going for a drink. Now they're drinking on this medication and whatever they take.
Yeah.
Drugs are everywhere now.
And that's just going to make it tense. That's just fuel on the fire.
So to me, that is a dangerous combination, and they don't understand they're doing that. Then all of a sudden, these poor young ones are in this cyclone of situations, and it must go, I can't cope with my life anymore, I'll end it. And the suicide rate now is killing more people than the COVID virus.
Well, here you go, Crissy.
And it's so sad that what is that moment where you just go, I can't do it.
Because I believe 90% of the time, I think people when I know when my dad done it a few years back, when he cut his wrist, as soon as he done it, he was screaming for help.
Yeah.
And my cousin had to come kick off the door, and it was too late. He was he already poured out. You know what I mean? So sometimes people, like what you said previously before we started, was like, if anyone is feeling like that, just wait until tomorrow.
I know. If they just say, please God, let me just get through till tomorrow.
Just let me get through the day.
What part of their life are they so down that they can't see an escape?
Because sometimes it's the claustrophobic and it's the mental torture in your mind. It's like, I cannot even live with me. I know myself as being in a state where it's I don't want to go out. I don't want to sit in. I don't want to be here. I don't want to go out. I don't know where to go. I don't know where. It's I don't know. I'm just flipping. What do I do? And then sometimes it's events. You just gonna have to break down and cry.
I know.
And sometimes tears is okay.
Well, tears washes your soul, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's what I say. Because I've cried. I don't even know why I've cried half the time.
Yeah.
And then, but to me, I have to say to myself, this is where I go back to Crissy Rock. Crissy Rock came into my life, and the time when my mum died, she died 4:00 in the morning, and then about 20 to 3 in the afternoon, I went, oh, God, I've got a job tonight, I can't go. And then I thought, all these people are going to be there, and they bought tickets to go. And I thought, God forgive me if, it's not going to bring my mum back to life. And I went. Don't ask me how I'd done the show, I don't know. And I got there and the fellow went, you're supposed to be there 7:30, it's 20 to 8. And I went, new watch. He went, you're late. I said, you're lucky I'm here. He said, he said, I phoned the agent up there. I was going to phone the agent up and say you haven't come. I said, well, you're lucky I have come because my mum died. And then he's all,
no.
I thought, fuck off.
Yeah, you don't know what people are going through. Just take time out.
You see a singer or an actor or an actress or a band. Nobody knows what is on, what's going through their head. Because when you're an actor or an entertainer, you have to not have any responsibilities. You not have problems. You can't, you know, you haven't got a life. Your life belongs to them. And that's where Crissy Rock's gone, come on, fuck 'em, we'll do this. We'll get through this. I'll get you through this. And it's the Crissy Rock looked after me because I had nobody to look after me. So
That's powerful, that.
I had her come into my life, and I'd love to be like her. I'd love to say, oh, God, you know what I mean? Oh God, I better say nothing because if I upset them, I don't want to upset them. And always like, oh, I don't want to be confrontational. I don't want to. But Crissy Rock's going, fuck them. Fuck them.
And sometimes you need
Get
that.
up.
Because there's an adult, there's a child inside that sometimes that we need to look after. Because I remember one time when I was at a really low point, you know, everything was on top of me, and I remember this specific time, and I remember looked in the mirror, Crissy, right, and I went, I'm gonna look after you. Don't worry, I have got your back, and I'm gonna take care of you. And you know, at that moment, Crissy, it was so liberating because that was the first time I ever done it. I ever talked to my inner child because the inner child was at the forefront of my life. It was scared, you know, paranoid and scared and fearful, and until the adult within me said, no, I'm going to look after you. And that's what I feel like when you're talking about Crissy. Crissy is the one who's the strong one, the adult, the one who's going to hold the reins. Like, no, listen, I'm going to take care of you, Christine. Don't worry about that, you know? And
I've got, like you say, I'll watch your back. It's like another thing as well. You might see someone walking towards you and they might look odd or look a bit, and you think, oh, I don't like the look of him. And that person, or I don't like the look of her, but that person might inside be the loveliest person. And we're so quick on judging people by our eyes instead of what's in here.
Yeah, amen. Yeah.
You know, why do you, I don't want to look because he's scaring me, or she's scaring me, or she looks a bit rough, or but they might.
That might be the adult within them that's protecting the child, and you're just seeing a strong, firm iron gate of the one who's at the forefront, just trying to hide that innocent, beautiful, loving little child what's inside. But we just seen the iron gate.
I know. And the thing is, someone once said to me, oh, I wouldn't like to have a smack off you. And I thought to myself, I wouldn't smack a fucking skin off an ice button. You know what I mean? Crissy Rock might be able to punch you, but if she's not in, I'm fucked.
It's hard, Crissy. Get out. I bloody need you.
Where are you? Do you mean you got the bingo? Get out.
What do you mean you got the bingo?
But it's true. I mean, if Crissy Rock's like Mike Tyson, she takes no shit off nobody. And I'm thinking to myself, shut up, Crissy. Shut up. And people, I remember this one, I was like, oh God, must be a battle of laughs living with you, it must be hard work living with her. But they don't know. They think you're like that 24/7. You know what I mean? And then someone said to me, oh, I'd hate to have a crack off you. And I thought, I'm not fucking skin off an ice button. And it's a fight now, but Crissy,
now's the time.
Don't abandon me now, you bitch. Come on. I'm getting my fucking head kicked in here. You and your big cob.
That's funny, that. So, Crissy, how like nowadays, how do you deal with it? I know, like, we've got all this, because meditation, you know, we've got meditation.
And I got chucked out because it was like, and this woman, and you know, one of these people you want to go, it must be medicated or smoking something to look that. Hello.
Yes.
And
breathing.
It was like quite patronising, condescending. Come in. Yes. Take your shoes off, sit down, and imagine what it's like to breathe. And you're thinking, well, if I wasn't breathing, I'd be fucking dead. I wouldn't have been able to come into your class. And you take up your nostrils, feel that cold air down to your chest. Hold it in and let it out. And I thought, she's having a fucking laugh here. And I thought, you're in a room, and then you're starting to get angry. Then you're thinking, what's she on? Only the class up. And the woman go, oh, if you feel angry, imagine you're chewing a sweet I think she'll be chewing my fucking fist in a minute. I don't want to be that laid back. I just don't want to feel sad. But that is why I won't go to see doctors because it's like, oh, well,
it could be a little bit.
It's a textbook.
But visualization is because as being an actor yourself, it is all about visualization. In some form, acting is a little bit of a meditation because I know, we do a little bit with the actor. We've got a few actors acting class and stuff like that, and I know a lot of people, like our bunch. I think we're all a little bit bloody insane to be honest with you.
You've got to be nuts to be in this business.
And I feel like whatever you're going through, when you go into acting, it feels like you've actually replaced yourself with someone else because you have to embody this other character. So for that little moment, you've actually give you a break. Key. Yeah.
That's the golden key. See, to me, the golden key for acting is, imagine there's just a onesie on this. There's just a onesie, but really the onesie's made of skin. So what you do is you climb inside that onesie and zip it up. And you're that person and you've got to think, what have I got on my feet? What have I got in my pockets? What have I ate today? Who have I spoke to? And you actually become that person. And by becoming that person, you've put this other person who really is you to one side.
Give them a little break.
Give them a break,
Have a little break.
And that's why I love acting. Because you can be anyone. You can be rich, poor, drunk, sober. You can be anything in the world. And that's it.
Because that's all part of the visualization. Because I have my own little form of meditation. Because I always think like, okay, if you could picture yourself like the best situation ever, you may have won awards, you've just come from like some big awards ceremony, you're in Hollywood, you're driving a Ferrari, you're just going down a boulevard and you park up and you have the lights and you're sitting there and all them chemicals and everything letting off, you feel on top of the world. But if you close your eyes at that moment, you're still you. Nothing's different. No. You're still you. But it's all these things, chemicals letting off in your body. So I've been trying to find out, how do I release that at will? That feeling, because it's just a feeling, really.
It is a feeling. I remember when I got the Silver Bird in Berlin, and if I'd have put a cigarette to my mouth, 10 lighters would have come. Are you happy? Are you happy? Are you happy? Are you happy? So, and then I had such a fabulous time. I turned round to thank everyone for what they'd done to me, and they'd all gone. I was standing there going,
flipping it.
They've gone. And then I swore to myself that I'd never take what they're giving me to heart.
Okay.
They're doing a job. You really fuck all to them.
But that's what makes you so humble though, Crissy, and that's what makes you such a legend. That's why everyone loves you. Like you, yourself, Ricky, Paul, Paul Barber. I mean, you're legends because what I love about you guys, you're still so humble. You haven't let all the fame and all the things go to your head. Like, now I am. You stir my coffee anti-clockwise, otherwise get out. You're still one of us.
I loved it when I went in the jungle because all these people, how are they going to cope without a PR? How this? I mean, I remember, and to be watched them stripped of everything, and they was like fighting each other. There was no survival in there. Survival is people looking after each other. They were only interested in themselves. And I remember getting the ward and they go, you got too much, you haven't got enough there, fucking get it yourself then. Too much stores, you haven't got enough. And in the end I just went, look after yourself. I'd already won by being in there. I had nothing to prove. And especially to them. I don't care, I'm not there to kiss your ass and go, I'm doing a job. And when I've done my job, I like to come out and go to the bingo or go to the pictures or go to see my friends.
What was that experience like being on that show? How did you find it, like being in there with everybody? I mean,
it was interesting to watch how how the pecking order came. I want to do this, I want to do that now. And it was like, because they wanted the airtime. It was like they needed to be seen. They needed that spotlight. Where me, I was like, I'm here. I'm getting paid for it. I don't care if I'm on the scene or I'm off the scene, But it was interesting to see how these people, you're in a place where you're trying to survive. And if you were really in a place with them in real life without cameras, you'd be fucked.
Yeah.
Basically, because they wouldn't give a shit about you.
But that's what I love about like getting to know Ricky Tomlinson and being around him. He is literally the guy that you see on TV.
Yeah.
Is literally him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's 80 years of age,
Yeah.
and being around him, it's like he's not even 80. It's like he's just one of the lads. He's just so funny.
Yeah.
He's you know, even Paul Barber, getting to know him as well. He's just so down to earth, such a gentleman. Just you know, there's no ego. And even knowing you as well, Crissy, you know, you're such a lovely person.
There's nothing to be egotistic for.
Yeah.
I've just look at myself that I've been fortunate to be in a situation that became a career. You know, naturally people go, Crissy was always funny as a kid. So, but that got me through things. And then, to me, I've just an ordinary person with an unusual job. You know, like I can't fly a plane, but look at these airline pilots go, oh, he's an airline pilot. Oh, it's a heart surgeon. Oh, you know, it's like a god. But to me, and people go, Crissy, what are you doing in the bingo? Playing. What are you doing in the Aldi?
What are you doing in the Aldi?
Oh, I love it. And the Lidl. And the farm foods is the best. You get to leave for the tenner. Got the kids getting all the things up. But like.
Do you buzz off at yourself though? Do you buzz off it a little bit when it's like you're just, you know that you're Crissy Rock and you know you've done all these amazing things, all the accolades that you've achieved, and you're just there in the bloody little, just do, and everyone's like.
But I always get extra things because when I used to do pantomime, I always saved for the food bank. So it's not like going to the food bank with 2 tins of spam and a fucking tin of corned beef. So you used to get little bits and little bits. But then I found I'd make sure that the people in the cast say, throw a tenner in here for the food bank, and they'd look at you, I'd throw 200 or whatever. And then I found they've got loads of food here, but there's no carry bags.
Okay.
So, and everyone didn't want to give a carry bag because we 10 pence. And I thought, God. So I used to go to the shop. I don't know what you can say, Car Phone Warehouse was fucking brilliant. I used to get loads of carry bags off Car Phone Warehouse. Sorry, Car Phone Warehouse. That's why they shut down now, probably.
Use teeth all the bags.
I've got all the bags off them, but they used to be dead good giving carry bags. And the woman in the St. Helens food bank said, oh, I'm made up because all the carrier bags are coming in. But it was, you know, things for little babies and things you don't think about because people take tins of food in. But there's like wet wipes for babies, sanitation for the young girls, you know, sanitary towels. Things like that, and toothpaste and soap. So they're just as important as, you know, a tin of corned beef.
They are.
And then I'd look at the tins of ham. Not the tins of ham, the Westler's burgers. You get a lovely meal out of it. I still eat Westler's burgers. I love them. Mashed potatoes and Westler's burgers. Best thing ever. But it's just, I always think of people, Christmas, it's, you know, it's always like who they've lost, who they can't see, you know, have they got nothing for the kids, and you know, things like that. And you think, God, your heart breaks for them. I remember when we were kids, my mum used to take us to midnight mass on a Christmas Eve, and we'd go home and she'd say, like, can I open one present? Okay. And our presents were wrapped up in newspaper. So we go, oh, look at that. And I remember they was going like, we never said what we were going to get. We were just grateful of anything. I mean, I remember opening this thing, it was a kaleidoscope. I mean, imagine giving a kid a kaleidoscope now, he'd beat you to death with it. What the fuck? And I remember, what did you get now for Christmas? Oh, an apple and an orange. Wow, a computer and a phone.
I know, it's crazy. It's like they get
everything
everything
now.
now.
What you know.
You don't know how bloody lucky they are nowadays.
I remember me and my brother saying, oh, I wonder what he'll bring us. I wonder what he'll... But we didn't tell him what we wanted. We were just grateful for anything.
I think when we were younger, I feel like we enjoyed the magic of it all. The magic, because like now, like, oh, Father Christmas, just give me the present. Like when I was younger, it was all about the magic of it. It wasn't so much about the gift and what you get, and it was like the whole ambience of Christmas and Santa Claus and the feeling, and you know, being with the family, being with my brother, being with mum and dad, and you know what I mean. So,
but that's why even to this day, I don't go berserk Christmas. I can't. you know, when you go to the shops that run up to Christmas, it's like the end of the world.
Yeah.
They've got to have the biggest turkey, they've got to have beef, pork, they've got to have everything.
Yeah.
And it's like, but I think that comes for the working class people because growing up, my nan never ever said she loved us. She fed us. She's like a feeder.
Okay.
The more she give you, the more food she give you, the more she loved you.
Yeah, that was her showing her love. Let's feed you.
To me, that is an abundance of the, you know, people in our class. Because I'm still the same class as everyone else. You know, I'm not this or that or the other. But to me, maybe the food was the love.
Yeah.
Because I can't give you the bike.
Yeah.
I can't give you the laptop. I can't give you, you know, maybe
well,
that.
I don't know if it's a Scouse thing, because I'm a Scouser, so, but that's what my mum's like as well. Every time I go, do you want bacon? Do you want this? Do you want a brekkie? Do you want to do... You know, that's how we show the love, is through feeding your belly, you know, and that's what I'm like now. Like, even Richie over here, like, any comes to my house, do you want something? Do you want something to eat? Do you want a cup of tea? Do you want a bit of food? Do you want, you know, I'm going to cook something. It's always like feeding to show you the love.
That's right, because you never had anything, you know, in them days. But that I wish when the thing for where you was kept in and you came out on a Thursday to clap, I thought that was amazing. And now a little bit they started the old-fashioned way of sticking together. I mean, Liverpool was very, very clannish during the Thatcher years, you know what I mean? If it wasn't for each other, we would have all gone under. You know, so-and-so lost his job, and that's how the family unit got together. And now, this lockdown, it's someone up the road going, are you all right, Mrs. Jones? Yeah. Oh, God love you. Well, I'll put something on your step. Yeah. Now, Mrs. Jones is getting a bit... She's got more than 6 in the house. In class.
It is, isn't it? The community spirit, you think, broke down a little touch.
You've just been putting food on my step, running. And now you're telling... Yeah. But it is sad. And it's going to be even sadder at this Christmas, especially if you can't go and visit your mother or your father, and especially if your mother and father are split up. Who do you pick? Can I go to that one or that one? Or can I have her around and not him? Or can I have him and not her? So it's... Families are... This COVID has brought a lot of struggle on families, friendships, community spirit and a lot of things. I know that's what's... It'd be interesting to do more of these with other... you know, celebrities I'd like to talk to. I mean, I remember when I read Ricky's book, and he was working from the Lamplight agency, and it was, by the way, he's locking the office up, and he was pulling the bottom drawers to take his sleeping bag out, and he was sleeping on the floor, you know, sleeping on the floor in the office, and, you know, good luck to him how he's got on his feet, and things like that, and he found it quite later in life. So it's not that he's had this silver spoon put in his mouth all of his life. He hasn't. No. And he's very, very generous as well. No, he has. He's done a lot for... You know, he does a lot for a lot of people. Yeah, he does. And with Paul Barber, I mean, look, he was brought up in the care system, and in them... I mean, how old is he now? Yeah, he's in his like middle 60s or something. Yeah, and he was black. Yeah, so that was a stigma of that for him. He dealt with a lot in that. So, you know, he's got his own issues that he's had to deal with. And like when we spoke to him, and he said, everyone only ever sees Paul Barber. They never see the real me. Paddy. Yeah, they never see Patrick. They look through Patrick. Yeah. It's like that. Nobody knows the real me. Because, you know, the real me, you know, just walks around and hopes and prays for everyone and worries sick about everyone. Yeah. But the other one, I mean, you were talking about meditation, I'm like, fuck you. Fuck you. But the hardest word in the English language to say is no. That's a deep one, now. That is the hardest word. Yeah. And I had to go to a self-assertive class once where to say no, because say like you're having a shitty day and, you know, you really don't want to do anything. And then, but you go, oh yeah, I will. Oh yeah, of course I will. And deep down you go, why have I fucking said that now? Yeah. But the word to say no without saying no, because if you go no, they take offence.
Yeah.
They go,
What's wrong with you? What's
what's
going on
with you?
Yeah.
I'm only asking you, you know.
Yeah.
So you go, oh, do you know what? I'd love to,
Yeah.
but I've got an appointment in the doctor's.
Yeah.
Or my tyre needs pumping up. I'm
Just
getting my car
misdirect.
cleaned
Yeah,
today.
yeah.
It's getting a valet.
Yeah.
And then now all of a sudden, if I'm genuinely going to get a valet now, they're going to say, fucking nice.
Yeah.
No. But that is how to get round.
Yeah.
Because they said the hardest word in the English language to say is no.
Yeah. No, it's true.
So without saying no, you're actually saying, I'd love to.
Yeah,
or, you know.
But it's people pleasing as well, isn't it? And I think a lot of people get caught.
Yeah.
I went through a little episode where I was doing a lot of people pleasing, and I think people pleasing can really take a lot of energy from yourself. And you know, one thing I've noticed about being a people pleaser, that when you're trying to please people, they see you're not being genuine, so you're actually not doing anyone any favours by pleasing people.
They're like emotional vampires as well.
Yeah.
They seem to drain the life off you.
Yeah.
And you think, God, you know. And then I went through a stage where I was talking to people and I didn't want to leave because I thought, the minute I leave this conversation, they're going to go, I can't fucking stand it. I don't know what you can't. I'd be like, okay, no. What another thing? And you end up talking and your brain is going, shut up. They're not interested. They don't want to know.
Yeah. That's the overthinking as well, isn't it? You know, people pleasing the people please you're thinking about what they're thinking, you're worrying about them, are they happy, is this, you know, because I've been so sucked into it that I can't even relax. Do you want to drink? Do you want this? Do you want that? You're okay? I'll be like, just relax. I'm just I'm having a bloody meltdown.
I went on a set once and I went, look, if I talk a lot, so if I talk a lot and I'm getting on your nerves, please say, Crissy, piss off.
Yeah.
You're getting on my nerves. I won't take offence because I get on my own nerves.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm like that. I'd rather you tell me to my face than go,
yeah.
You know.
Or just smile at me, but really you're like...
And I done this thing once and I was doing Born to Run and one of the actresses there was a little bit fucking flaky, like. And it didn't matter what you did, you were in the wrong. And then you'd go, hey, you're all right. Oh. And you think, okay. So the director said, Crissy, when you come in the morning, you're like dead loud. And I said, well, I can't help it, you know. Tell her, why she not come and said to me, shut the fuck up, you know?
Yeah.
Give me, it's early in the morning. Some people aren't morning people, some people are. And I said, she could have just said, you know.
Yeah, just
anyway, so I started to avoid. I'd go in and go, come on, and I'd walk away. And then the director come and said, Crissy, she's upset because you'd ignored her. And I said, for fuck's sake. I said, when I speak to her, it's shut up, and she can't even tell me, she tells you.
Yeah.
And now I'm just nodding. I'm walking away. What does she want me to do? I'm not here to fucking nursemaid her.
Yeah.
So I was in this scene and we had this last scene of the day and it was a long scene. And I'm like that. And we had to be standing. I thought, oh God, I've talked to him in the wrong way. Don't talk to him in the wrong way.
What bloody doing?
And I went, you know this scene here? When I have to go, ooh, would you go, you know, being rather trained and all that, would you go, ooh, or do you go, ee? Or she went, do I look like a fucking director? And I just went,
stop laughing.
Fucking busted it out in the face. And everyone running up to me. I went, I'm all right now.
Yeah.
I went, why can't
was that Crissy? That was Crissy again, came out, didn't it? Hey, Christine was like, what the hell did you just do?
I know. I just thought, I can't stand it.
Yeah.
I said, why can't I be happy? You've got no husband. I've got a fucking husband, tried out Wolverhampton, the washing, and I'm stuck in Manchester. I've got one daughter who can't have fucking kids, hysterical. Another one who's thinks the baby she's having, who's only fucking 15, it's stuck in a fallopian tubes. And you can't be fucking happy. You haven't got a worry in the world.
Yeah. Have that.
Fuck
Have
off,
a bit of that.
You boring, miserable.
Yeah. Take that. All that's yours.
And then she sent me this letter. She said, I'm so sorry, I didn't know you had all these problems. And I was like, I haven't got any problems. you're giving me the problems because I don't come to work and go, oh, guess what? You know, I come to work to do a job. I don't want to fucking come and say, you know, you can't be happy because you're fucking boring yourself to shit.
So let's go back to the whole scene here.
Yeah.
That was a big one, that Crissy, right?
And
So you boom, right?
Yeah.
So what? So she laid. So she's laid out now. She's sleeping.
She's
Right?
sleeping on the floor.
What's everyone saying?
And everyone went, oh my God, you know, she's on the couch. She said, she'll be on a fucking stretcher in a minute.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake, do your job.
Yeah.
But she was give everyone a dog's life on the set.
But she must have learned a valuable lesson right there. Hey, don't mess around with scousers.
No, but the thing is, I didn't want to do that. But when you've worked with someone for 6 months and you're coming into work and you're trying, this is where Crissy Rock helped me.
Yeah.
Because I had a husband, God love him, he tried out more times in the wash and he was back in the dry out clinic. I had my daughter who was 15, they thought she had an ectopic pregnancy.
So you had a lot going on, Crissy, didn't you?
And I'm trying to do these lines and you're not supposed to leave of a night. And I was driving back to Liverpool and I was in the hospital visiting them and running back, by the way. And, you know, and I just never took it to work.
Yeah.
And then I'd go in and she'd go, oh, I can't be happy.
Yeah.
Oh, I went to Lake District, my car got broken into. I can't believe this. So you go, no, I bet you won't go to the lakes again then, will you? So you're trying to make it light of it.
Yeah.
And then the director go, oh, Crissy, you know, you're a bit loud around her. I said, oh, I'm sorry, but she could come and say, Crissy, shut up.
Yeah.
And then I'd leave her alone.
You tried everything, Sally. You tried everything you could have tried. She left you no option, Crissy.
Yeah, and when you're working and then you get the chuck wagon, you're made up, you have free food.
Yeah.
You know, oh, give me that. Oh, I'll have it all. You know, and she'd come in this little Tupperware and I'd say, God, I'd love to be disciplined. Like, do you think I've got an eating problem?
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But it didn't matter what you did.
Chip.
And then this day, it was the last scene of the day.
Yeah, end it with a bang.
Yeah, and I thought to myself, I'm going to get fucking all the traffic going home. And then and then all of a sudden, I just went, because you stay with her for ages, a couple of hours just standing there, and it's horrible to be standing there not speaking to anybody. And you're trying to make conversation with her, and it was like pulling fucking teeth. And I'm like, so I said, you know this scene, would you go, ooh, or would you just run over? She went, do I look like a fucking director? And I just went, fuck off. I don't even know why, come forward. I just went, what?
Just went, what?
And I just lost the fucking plot. And they went, Crissy, she's on the couch. I said, she's got a fucking stretched in a minute. But I thought I was blacklisted. I thought, I'm never going to work again.
Yeah.
But apparently she sent me a note. And she said, I'm sorry, I didn't know. But I said, you didn't know, because I didn't come in and go, oh my God.
Yeah, I don't moan like you. I don't moan like most people.
And I think deep down inside, she must have been a very, very insecure, lonely person that needed...
A little bit of a narcissistic as well, you know, self.
To fuck someone's head up to make her feel better.
Yeah.
And I thought, nah.
No, not today.
Not today.
Hold up.
Yeah.
Not on my time.
Yeah. I just couldn't believe I busted. And I don't even know why I busted, because I'm not really a violently button person.
Yeah.
And she just went, do I look like a fucking guy? It's like the Exorcist.
Yeah. The head just spun at you like that and you thought,
And I thought, you fuck off. You fucking... And I just went, get it away from me. Get it away. And they went, I'm calm now. I'm calm.
Yeah. Did you go back to your meditation then?
The wardrobe fella was fucking howling. He said, I've wanted to
do that for ages.
From the day one.
Yeah.
But it was just like, she just wasn't happy until she was making someone else
unhappy,
feel uncomfortable, feeling, around her. And
so you whacked her right back into a childhood, probably.
No, what, you didn't know whether to talk to her, not talk to her, be around. She just made you feel horrible.
Oh, yeah, made you feel, yeah.
And everything was, I'm not wearing that, and get this. And the girl was doing her hair. Watch what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know,
everything was a problem.
Yeah. You know, and
you get people like that, though, don't you, Crissy? You get people out there like
I'm
that.
very lucky because that was the only one time
that you've actually
that I've ever experienced that. But we were like 6-7 months doing this, and then it was just at the end of it, I thought,
right,
you know,
you're getting it.
But if she'd have said well, do what you feel like, or if she'd have said it in not such a nasty way, if she'd said, do I look like a fucking director?
Yeah, it was the head spin at the time.
It was like, do I look like a fucking director?
You know, I'm not really about violence, right, Crissy? But it does seem like a headbutt and offence.
Yeah, it was just like, what? I don't know whether it's like, what? Or what? I can't remember the movements at the time, officer. I think I just went, what? Or did it go, what?
You didn't intentionally do it. It was just, you know.
Yeah, it was shock.
Yeah.
But it was just like, you know, when you go, oh.
Yeah.
So it must be the, But no, it wasn't.
Crissy, could we talk about your, like just before we end it, what have you got planned in store for Crissy? What is on Crissy's agenda, you know?
Well, Crissy is at the minute hoping to move herself forward after this COVID virus. You know, I've not been too upset over the virus being stuck in because I'm quite fortunate than other people. I worry about other people. Financial wise, well, I've never had nothing. You know, when you die, you can't, there's no pockets in your shroud. So we're all in the same boat. I can't go, oh God, I've got no money, because we're all in the same boat. Things have got to get better. And the best thing to do is say, right, like that boy, this time next year,
we'll be millionaires.
We won't have the COVID virus. We'll probably have smallpox. Or
something's going to come on the plane.
But we won't have COVID virus. But you've got to think there's a light at the end of the tunnel, because if you stay stuck in that tunnel, you're just going to suffocate in it.
And for anyone else, like, let's go back from the beginning. It was like people who were trapped into these situations, like the things that yourself have been through, and in some respects, some things I've been through. We've used that negative, and whatever you're going through at the time, whatever you're going through is, you know, it might, you know, it won't be in vain. You can turn that negative energy into a positive energy, and switch things around, like what you've done for yourself.
Saying, there by the grace of God go I.
Yeah, amen.
You know, there by the grace of God go I, because that could have been me. And, you know, but get up. The best thing to do in depression, it doesn't matter whatever, what you look like, how tall or short or fat or thin you are, you are important, right? I say this about people, you know, in these drugs and suicides and that. You are someone's son. You are someone's father. You are someone's brother. You are loved. It doesn't matter if you're on drugs or on drink or that. You are loved. Regardless, unconditional. Mother will love you unconditionally. So please, please, please try and see the light at the end of the tunnel. And especially for men with depression, say you're depressed. Women cry all the time. We cry. Look, that, you know. They're not paying much in the bingo tonight, you know. But men,
but there is some cases of women as women as well. And men, and also there's a lot of battered men out there as well. So I know. I've known a few. So men feel, oh God, you can't cry, you know. You're Gary, go get up, I'll you better not be crying. I'll give you the crack. You know, boy, talk
you're
about
man,
it. Talk about it
because it is mostly males that are committing suicide. You know, and it is horribly sad. And you know, one life's gone, and it affects the whole family.
And if they are feeling like that, if they do want to do something, as we said previously, just wait until tomorrow at least. You know, give yourself
another
day.
Hard, it's easy to give advice. Taking advice is hard, because if you're in that thing and you can't get out of it, that must be horrendous. But I think, please, that for that moment of madness, just think. You know, just try and think and see a light. lift up and ask for help.
Yeah.
There is a hand there for you.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
you've got to put that hand out.
Yeah, yeah. You're stronger than you think.
Yeah.
You're stronger than you think.
Yeah.
And by any means, just, you know, whatever you need to do, speak to somebody, do a bit of training, go for a jog, you know, whatever you need to do, you know, at least wait for tomorrow.
Yeah.
There is always going to be a brighter day.
Go in your backyard and smash a load of bottles.
If anything.
Anything, the sound of the song, I love the sound of breaking glass.
Yeah.
You know, I don't mean breaking glass, but I mean, just something that'll get that.
Yeah. I use boxing, punch bag, something. Let it out in some way. Just don't let it out inwards. Let it out somewhere else. If you've got to let it out.
More so for men and, and young lads.
Yeah.
You know, young lads now are terrible. It's, you know, they're heartbreaking. And try, you know, and see that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And your next,
I think, interview, hopefully very soon, is going to be with.
I'd love it to be with Paul Barber.
Yep, great.
And Ricky.
Yep.
And I'd love to interview Paul Gascoigne.
Yep. Okay, and these are all next on the agenda for Crissy's new podcast.
Yes, podcast. Yes.
Thank you very much. I don't know if we do elbows now or touches. I think elbows will work. If you do elbows, you got to go right in. You got to go right. You got to go right into people, haven't you? But we'll give it a touch. Right. Thank you very much.
Oh, there was a thing with the pushing the trolley and the ring, and you have to fuck you, and you stop. I'm not coming in. You'd run away, and you go, shit me pounds.
Hey, and if all else fails, give me an headbutt. Oh, nice one, Richie. I know you're in a rush. You got to go to college soon, haven't you?
Yeah.
Oh, Crissy, that was amazing.
But that was true. That.
Yeah.
That was with the woman that used to be in the bill. She played